Beautiful people, what's good? Hey, welcome to Friday, um, August 28th, 2020. And just by the current events, we can almost uh, uh, imagine and visualize um, 1820, 1720, 1920, for that matter, just as far as the human interaction that's been taking place in this country. Um, what I've been hearing of late from mostly my brothers, young and old, is that after we say what we got to say, after we get that frustration out and that anger out, the disbelief out, we try to minimalize it and pacify and almost console ourselves by saying, "Don't worry, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right." You hear that time and time again. I've said it. I've I know cousins and friends, sons who've said it. It is time to recognize that we are not all right. We are not all right. As black men, yes, we are strong. Yes, we are confident. Yes, we will succeed, but we are not all right. It's a very big difference. We are not all right. This may take a minute for me to get off my chest, but I want it to be shared, and I want you to listen, and then I want you to take it, um, and then share it with someone, and then I also want you to internalize where your mental stability is. Go back in history, and we can start with the Atlantic Voyage, passage, trade, whatever you want to name that, when indigenous Africans were being herded up, rounded up, uh, and then held bonded to be shipped off to a unknown land to be enslaved for someone's will. I can only imagine being a strong, independent, self-confident human being aboard a vessel, chained, malnourished, mistreated, dehumanized, that when the captor tells you to do something and then you disobey because you know deep in your heart you don't belong there, this ain't right, this is inhumane, this is not how you treat humans. And then when you protest that captor and then they throw you overboard in the middle of the ocean, now you look around, the remaining slaves, you start to think, well, wow, if I say something, I'm damned. So you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you protesting rightfully for being held captive against your will, you get murdered. Now you can fast forward a few decades, centuries, and kind of see the same scenario play out. Now you're a slave on someone's plantation, and you are being forced to work from sun up to sundown. Understand sun up to sundown. Let's think worst case scenario, the middle of summer, August, July, when the sun rises at 5:45 a.m. and it doesn't decide to set until 9:31 p.m. and you've been on your hands and knees, thorn bushes, mosquitoes, other reptiles, whatever nature decides to throw at you, a thunderstorm and lightning, all day, every day, for your entire life. And then you decide, you make a conscious effort, oh, this ain't right. I'm running away in protest, just like the proud African did on the ship centuries before you. You protest, so you run away. That's your only form of protest, is to try to escape. Now your captives recapture you, torture you, mutilate you, abuse you, possibly kill you. So again, now the remaining slaves look around and say, damned if I do, damned if I don't. You know, through all of that, black men are saying, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna be all right. Fast forward. We can fast forward to right now, but I would like to pause and go to 1950s, 1960s, where we're free, but we're still not free. We're not afforded the rights that other patriots are. So go and you kind of find some problems if you dive into the Emancipation Proclamation, which set us free, let that sink in, and then dive into the 13th Amendment. Understand this, again, I'm gonna be all right because we thought we were free. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're free, but understand the captives who wrote this freedom document and this freedom amendment, again, chose the narrative, chose the words. I go into words because words mean a lot. The words that's there and then the words that aren't there. So understand the 13th Amendment was originally going to be written because of Senator Sumner from the state of Massachusetts was going to have it include the words equal before the law pertaining to black folks, equal before the law. Well, he got pushback, a lot of pushback from other senators. The vibe was, okay, wait, hold on. Are we abolishing slavery or are we giving them rights? Okay? And so it went on for almost a year and a half before they figured out the language to the 13th Amendment. After discussion, now you have currently, as it's worded, the 13th Amendment, which basically just says slavery is illegal unless afforded criminal proceedings, and then now you are relegated to subject of the government to where you can do work. So understand that. And I say all of that to say, after that 13th Amendment was passed, ratified, blah, 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 then, and this speaks volumes. Again, words. You have Senator Henderson from the state of Missouri who made a comment that said, we afford black men freedom, not rights. We'll leave that to the states. Go check that. Fact check that if you want to. That tells you the overall mindset, the collective bargaining agreement mindset of controlling the narrative, to say, as a group of white men who perceive in their own mind, we run this, we own this, this is ours. Forget for the people, by the people, of the people. Forget that. No, this is our white folks and this is our land. And so in this wording, we're going to say no slavery. They left out equal before the law. So we carry on. And now that we're free, we move into mainstream society where we can't go into certain places because of the color of our skin. So are we really free? We can't do certain things and participate in government because of our skin. So are we free? We can't go here. We can't buy this. We can't eat this. We can't drive there. Our children can't be educated here because of the color of our skin. So are we free? Is the 13th Amendment really even necessary at this particular time? But we got black men saying, I'm gonna be all right. Now we move to integrate, and we are beaten, bitten, hoes, jailed, murdered. But we still got black men saying, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. Now you come to present day. You come to present day. And now with the internet making everything fingertip accessible, excuse me, that's a B. He wants to be part of this, and it's all good, Mr. B, I see you. With everything accessible because of this, the atrocities, the hunting, the murder of black men are being brought right into your hands. You don't have to hear about it. You don't have to think that it doesn't exist. You cannot be so ignorant and naive to say, oh, I did not know that. I can almost, Apple is a $2 industry. They're the first business to ever do like 2 billion or what, 2 trillion or whatever the case is. Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, Cellular One, all of these conglomerates aren't huge conglomerates for no reason. It's because we all have one of these. And while you're streaming through there looking for cute cats, pretty dogs, the latest recipe, the latest hairdo, the latest sneaker, the latest phone release, you have accessible the visual to watching black men get murdered, unarmed, backs turned in some cases, young black men, 12 years old, 13 years old, 16 years old, older black men, 35, 40, 50. I'm not leaving out black women, it happens too, but my point today is black men, and we're gonna be all right. And we have to witness that, and then we still say we're gonna be all right. You watch someone that could be your father, your brother, your son, your grandson, your uncle, your cousin, your mentor, your coach, your pastor get murdered on live TV for the nation to see. And then when we come on and we speak, we finish with, I'm gonna be all right. I'm here today to tell you we are not all right. I just gave you the lineage of our existence of not being all right. We are not all right, but we will go on. We will go forward because that's the only option we have. That's the only options those folks on that ship had. That's the only option those folks, those human beings, I should say. Let me rephrase. That's the only option those human beings on those ships had. That's the only option those human beings on those plantations had. That's the only option those men who were watered, hosed, beaten, and bitten had, was to go forward. Today, we will go forward, but we are not all right. Understand that. We are not all right. All of that to understand our mental stability. As a black man, I'm telling you, understand it is okay to not be all right. It is okay to be upset. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to lose faith It is okay to let go. It is okay to cry. It is okay to mourn. It is okay to say, I am not okay, bruh. I am not okay. When we allow that, when we become vulnerable to say, I am not okay, we can move forward because now we know what anger feels like and how to let it go. We know what betrayal feels like and we let it go. We understand what watching your loved one get murdered feels. We understand that pain. We see it. We internalize it. And we're never going to be okay, but now we can move forward with a clear mind. With a clear mind. Because we're not okay. But we're going to go forward. That's our only option. So understand, as a black man, you're not alone. You are not alone. Yes, I know a lot of us face some uphill battles, some very steep uphill battles because of generational curses. Understand that word, curses. They ain't curses. They're burdens bestowed upon us by somebody else who bestowed it upon our fathers and our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers. So understand, it's not a curse. We're not trying to break a generational curse. We're not bad luck people by nature. See how that word game played out? They want to make us feel like we're bestowed with bad luck. We ain't bestowed with bad luck. We're bestowed with burdens placed upon us by somebody else who thought it was their position to place those burdens on us. What we're breaking is those burdens. You won't put those burdens on us. I won't put those burdens on my son. I won't put those burdens on my grandson. I won't allow my son to put those burdens that I put on him to them. You see what I'm saying? Understand the word game. We're not bad luck people. We have burdens put on us. Now we're going to remove those burdens. Understand? All right? So, and again, about that word game I want to touch on. You know, about us protesting being quarantined on the ship and segregated to the tobacco fields, sugarcane fields. Okay, we protested. Don't think, you know, brothers wasn't protesting on that voyage across the Atlantic. Don't think brothers wasn't protesting on that plantation. Don't think we just sat still and was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is, no, we've been protesting. So now, understand that. Now they want to turn, see, again, to go back to the word game, they want to turn the word protest into revolt. No, that's not a revolt, that's a protest. Now, it will become a revolt when you don't listen to the protest. See? So again, word games, you know. We've been protesting. We've had people revolt. Don't get that twisted neither. Okay? So, we come present day. We come present day. You can say whatever you want about the civil rights movement. You know, there's figures, there's world-renowned figures that led that movement. Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Abernathy, the Reverend Johnson. It's a lot of people that were involved in that. Say what you want about them. I'm not here. But what I am saying is they started a protest. They started a protest. All right? Now, modern day. Let's go to modern day. The protests that are going on now. The powers that be would have you to believe that the only way to protest is to have a peaceful protest. That's an oxymoron. You can't have, those two don't work together. Those two don't work together. Now, look back at the 60s with the civil rights movement and those protests. Yeah, they were deemed peaceful protests. But were they really peaceful? You have white officers with attack dogs, riot gear, bully clubs, water hoses, firearms, tanks. Okay? Was it really a peaceful protest? Right? So, to me, again, let's go to the word game. You want us to have a peaceful protest. You want us to show up unarmed, docile, marching quietly while the oppressor is weaponized as though they were a militia going to war. Word games. Word games. The actual definition of protest would totally not include peaceful. You can't, it can't be peaceful, because if it was peaceful, there would be no protest. If what you was protesting was peaceful, there'd be no protest. Okay? Word games. Word games. So again, bruhs, yes, protest. You probably won't see me out protesting physically, boots on the ground. It's not what I do. I'm not knocking you. I support you, and I'm telling you, if that's what you do, go do it. I will support you from here. Where I stand is I'm going to have a conversation with the people you're protesting, because that's where the change comes in. And we need every aspect of a protest to be successful. You need boots on the ground. You need human beings marching. You need people talking. You need people in place to make policy changes. Because see, at the end of the day, what are we protesting for? So go back to Good Bruh on that voyage, on that ship. Fuck that. That's not a voyage. That's your ride on the Gray Goose to the electric chair. That's what that trip was. All right. That brother was protesting. He was protesting something that wasn't peaceful. All right? Understand that. And I'm sure he had other folks. So while he was we have to have multi avenues of the protest. So while Good Bruh was probably trying to decapitate his captor physically, you probably had about 2 or 3 other bruhs sliding through the gallows trying to get to the steering wheel, right? And then you probably had some other ones, some other good bruhs trying to get to the side of the ship to sabotage the sails. Okay? Understand, it's not just one aspect of a protest to bring change. And then so you're gonna need everybody's involvement. And then what were they protesting? What are we protesting? What were they protesting? What were the good bruhs protesting on the plantation? Protest without solutions is just a waste of time. What did we, so on that death sentence on that ship, what did they want? They wanted freedom to go back to where they came from. They had no inclination, no wants, what have you, to go to this new land. They wanted to go back to their home where their family was. That's what that's the result that they wanted. Okay? Let's come to the plantation. What did those good bruhs want? While you had a certain number of good bruhs going after the leader of that plantation, you had other good bruhs sabotaging the food. You had other good bruhs sabotaging the animals. You had other good bruhs making a plan of escape, going out on recon, seeing how far they can go. Man, it's a collective effort in a protest, right? But what did they want? They wanted to be off that plantation. Be careful of that word free. I don't know if they wanted to be free. They could care less if they're free. They want to be off that plantation, and then we'll figure out what's next. Because I don't know if I say free, what's going to happen to me. What am I going to get with this word freedom? I know I need to be off this plantation, and I need to get somewhere where I can rethink, refocus, and replan, and move on to the next plight. You understand? So fast forward to today and our protests. What do we want? We have to understand what we want. See, because when the time comes, I don't know if that's today, tomorrow, next month, next year, next century. I don't know if I'll be long dead 1,500 years from now. When that opportunity comes to make a change, when the ball is now in our court, what do we want? We can't be so hell-bent on yelling and screaming and crying for change, and then when time comes and we don't know. Perfect example. You got a 7-year-old. He been bugging you all day. Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I want to eat. Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I'm hungry. He said all of that in 7 seconds. He's starving. In 7 seconds, he's starving. What you do as a dad? Well, what you want to eat? I don't know. What? You look at him like, bro, you just told me you starving. So I can feed you rocks? Right? So understand, what is the result we want? All right? That's what we got to ask ourselves. Good brothers, I know I said a lot today. I needed to get off my chest for my mental awareness because it's been on me. But man, we are going to be all right, but we are not all right. And it's okay to be not all right. Please take in what I just said. Share it with your brothers. Conversate about it. Put something in the air. And it's okay to not be all right. You dig? Hey, I didn't even know how. Thank you for joining me. I'm not. You know what, brothers, man? To hell with it. Thanking you for joining me. Thanking you for living. Thank you for existing. Thank you for persevering. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for being you. You dig? Man, till next time, beautiful brothers, y'all be well, man.